When you hear the name Ivan the Terrible, you probably wouldn't think of a strong leader, based on the description of terrible. However, through complete military dominance, Ivan the Fourth would become one of the most powerful leaders in Russian history.
Ivan the Fourth was a naturally intelligent man, but he had a complex personality. He would break out into uncontrollable fits of rage, which would prevent him from flourishing into the leader he could have been.
Ivan was born with the name Chetarvorty Vasilyevich on August 25, 1530, in Moscow, Russia. His father, Basil III, died when he was only 3, and his mom, Elena Glinskaya, ruled until she died when he was 8.
The type of experiences Ivan endured during his growth years developed him into the man he would later become. Ivan was said to be a sensitive and intelligent boy who was neglected and looked down on by the boyars that took over the ruling of Russia. The hate he comprehended didn't distract him from taking to other things like literature and music.
In 1547, Ivan IV was crowned the Tsar of Moscow, the same year that he married Anastasia Romanova. In 1549, Ivan appointed a council of advisors who helped him institute his reforms. During the early stage of his reign, he introduced reform tax collection, a law, and church reform, and self-governing in rural regions.
In foreign policy, Ivan ultimately aimed to conquer independent regions and create a larger and more centralized Russia. Ivan found success in crushing the Tatar Khanates of Kazan and Astrakhan in 1552 and 1556. However, he was not as lucky when trying to annex Lithuania and gain access to the Baltic Sea.
While proved to be successful, Ivan's method disrupted the economy and culture of Russia. He created a police force that dressed in all black that existed more to crush dissent than to keep peace. Ivan's unpopularity grew over the next several years due to his harshness.
When his first wife died in 1560, Ivan went into a deep depression, and his behavior and decision-making became even more erratic. He was suspicious that she had been killed by boyars, which deepened his paranoia. He left Moscow and suddenly threatened to give up power. Without a leader, people begged for his return. He did return, but under the stipulation that he gain complete control of the surrounding area in addition to the area he already had.
Over the next 24 years, Ivan the Terrible conducted a reign of terror, destroying as many boyar families as he could. It was also during this reign that Ivan beat his pregnant daughter-in-law, causing the baby to die. He also killed his son in a major fit of rage. Not only that, but during this time he created the Opernik, or the first official secret Russian police force.
In 1584, Ivan's health was failing, so he became obsessed with death. He summoned witches and soothsayers to sustain him, which hadn't proved successful. On March 18, 1584, Ivan the Terrible died of an apparent stroke. He willed the kingdom to his son, Fyodor. His rule spiraled Russia into the catastrophic time of troubles, leading to the establishment of the Romanov dynasty.
All in all, Ivan the Terrible was not a terrible leader. Although he was harsh, violent, and uncontrollable, Ivan's reign led to the expansion of what was most likely modern-day Russia. He punished people who were admittedly innocent and undeserving. Not only he was dominant, but he was ruthless. This is what led to him to being one of the most influential leaders in Russian history.
Many would argue that Ivan the Terrible was not a great leader. They choose to focus on what made him a bad person: his violence, his anger, and most importantly, his ruthless aggression. However, to judge a leader, you must focus on what they did for their country, territory, etc. Ivan IV not only brought insane military power to Russia for decades, but he expanded their land. Although it came at the expense of a few other governments, it showed for better in Russia's rich history.